Under the radiant glow of the rising sun, the Buddha sat beneath the ancient Bodhi tree in quiet reflection. His disciples approached hesitantly, sensing the serenity around him, their questions pressing yet subdued by his calm presence. Among them was Ananda, his face etched with turmoil, burdened by the weight of choices long regretted. "Blessed One," Ananda said, his voice trembling, "I am haunted by mistakes that seem to define who I have become." The Buddha opened his eyes and regarded Ananda with gentle compassion, his gaze piercing yet comforting. "Ananda," he said softly, "life is like a river that flows constantly, never holding on to the water it has already carried." His words settled deeply among the disciples, who leaned closer, eager for understanding yet unsure of their own queries. "But, Blessed One," Ananda countered, a tremor in his tone, "if I release the past, how do I ensure I remember the lessons?" The Buddha gestured toward a fallen leaf drifting in the nearby stream, its course unwavering, unaffected by its past origins. "Do not mistake remembering for dwelling. To learn from what has passed is wise. To chain oneself to it is folly." The disciples nodded in agreement, while Ananda remained pensive, his turmoil apparent in the shifting lines of his face. "Even now," he said, voice laced with doubt, "my heart holds guilt for actions that have caused others pain. Even if a stream dries, the rain will fill it again. Nature always finds its course." He leaned forward, his hands resting gently atop his knees, his posture inviting quiet introspection among all who had gathered. Ananda looked up sharply, desperation coloring his plea. "How do I make amends for harm caused to those I can no longer reach?" The Buddha extended his arm toward a young sapling, its leaves trembling in the wind, motioned gently by unseen forces. Each act of kindness, each word spoken with sincerity, nourishes the saplings of goodwill that grow endlessly. As he spoke, the disciples murmured quietly among themselves, reflecting on times past, the ties binding them to their imperfections. One asked aloud, his voice timid but earnest, "If kindness is our tool, how do we find the strength to wield it when despair weakens our resolve?" The Buddha smiled gently, his expression radiating peace. As he responded, "Strength emerges not from the absence of despair but from the determination to rise despite its weight." His words carried a resonance, like the deep tone of a bell, touching the spirit of all present, guiding their troubled thoughts toward clarity. "Indeed, young one, each seed has its own time, just as each being has its own journey," he answered. "Release is an invitation, not an imposition. By freeing oneself, one can inspire others, offering them courage to release their burdens." A calm silence enveloped the group as the disciples reflected on the truth of those words. Each grappling with their own inner weights, the morning sun climbed higher, illuminating the clearing where the Buddha sat, his aura radiant and transformative for all present. His voice broke the quiet, guiding the group further toward understanding. "Ananda, forgiveness begins within, for we are often harsher on ourselves than others have ever been." The disciples turned toward Ananda, their expressions curious yet empathetic, observing how the lesson unfolded through his courage to question openly. "If forgiveness begins within," Ananda ventured carefully, "how does one silence the voice that criticizes endlessly in the shadows?" The Buddha clasped his hands in front of him, his calm steadying the group, his presence grounding their thoughts. "The voice of criticism weakens through acknowledgement, not denial. To hear it clearly is to understand it, and through understanding comes peace." He gestured toward the stream once more, its surface shimmering in the sunlight, reflecting both ripples and stillness alike. His words carried a sense of timeless wisdom that both comforted and challenged me. "So, you are saying, Blessed One, that I must cultivate patience as a farmer tends his crops?" The Buddha inclined his head, affirming the truth in my understanding. His words resonated, their simplicity profound as the disciples nodded, their own hearts touched by his teaching. The path forward requires courage, the Buddha continued. Not to dismiss the past but to integrate its lessons into mindful action. The group listened intently, sensing a shift in their own hearts. A momentary stillness settling their doubts. Ananda inhaled deeply, the weight on his chest softening as clarity replaced confusion. Like sunlight breaking through clouds. "Blessed One," he said softly, his voice steadier than before. "I understand now that letting go grants freedom, not denial." The Buddha smiled faintly, his eyes bright with approval. As he concluded, the stream does not forget its source, but it flows forward toward new landscapes with openness and peace. The group remained silent, absorbing the fullness of his words. Their spirits lighter, their minds clearer. Beneath the banyan tree, shadows danced in harmony with the sunlight, embodying the lessons that the Buddha bestowed. The disciples rose slowly, their steps unhurried, as if carrying the essence of his teaching within them. Ananda felt the stone within his heart lift, its presence no longer oppressive but transformed into wisdom. As the day wore on, the disciples dispersed, their minds enriched by the profound yet simple truths shared under the Bodhi tree. Ananda lingered, his gratitude evident as he bowed deeply toward the Buddha, his heart steadied in newfound peace. The Buddha watched him quietly, his presence unwavering, embodying the serenity that allowed transformation to bloom. Ananda turned toward the horizon, his steps purposeful, his mind committed to embracing the lessons of letting go. The stream nearby murmured softly, its journey continuing, its essence unaltered as it flowed freely toward its course. Another day. Another dawn. The sun rose slowly, casting golden rays upon the earth, bathing it in warmth and renewal. Beneath the shade of a banyan tree, the disciples gathered, their faces bearing the marks of past struggles and lingering regrets. Ananda approached the Buddha, his eyes clouded with sorrow. "Blessed One," he began, his voice trembling, "the memories of my failures torment me. I feel chained to what I cannot undo." The Buddha gazed at Ananda with gentle compassion, his presence grounding the disciples in an atmosphere of understanding and calm. "Ananda," he said softly, "do you see how the branches of this tree sway with the wind, yet remain rooted firmly?" Ananda nodded, his thoughts drawn to the gentle rustling of leaves above them, mirroring the movement of life itself. "Yes, Blessed One. The tree moves but remains steady. Its roots hold its place while the wind shapes its form." The Buddha gestured toward the flowing stream nearby, its current steady and unwavering. "Look at the water, Ananda. Does it resist the stones in its path, or does it embrace them, flowing around them?" Ananda observed the stream, his heart touched by its resilience and fluidity, a reminder of life's persistence against obstacles. "The water flows onward, Blessed One, carrying with it the strength to adapt without losing its essence." The Buddha smiled faintly, his words deliberate, each one meant to penetrate the deepest layers of the disciples' minds. "Life is like the stream, Ananda. It carries us forward, shaping us without erasing the traces of our past." Ananda hesitated, his mind wrestling with guilt that clung to him like a shadow. "But, Blessed One, the harm I have caused weighs heavy on my conscience. How can I move forward?" The Buddha turned his gaze to the horizon, where the mountains stood tall, timeless witnesses to the shifting winds of life. "Guilt is like a fire within. It can either consume us or illuminate the path toward responsibility and wisdom." The disciples murmured quietly, their own burdens mirrored in Ananda's struggles, their hearts seeking solace in the Buddha's words. "Blessed One," Ananda asked earnestly, "how does one transform guilt into something that guides rather than hinders?" The Buddha leaned forward, his voice calm yet powerful in its simplicity. One transforms guilt through action, even if the forest consumes us. Young one, what matters is the peace we cultivate within it. His words were like a balm to my restless heart, though the shadows of doubt still lingered at its edges. But, Blessed One, how do I forgive myself when I feel undeserving of that grace? The Buddha gestured to a flower blooming amid the grass, its petals bright against the earth that sustained its roots. Forgiveness begins like this flower, Ananda. It grows when nurtured by humility, accountability, and the desire to sow kindness where harm was caused. The disciples gazed at the flower, its beauty a quiet testament to the enduring spirit of life. Untouched by the past, Ananda spoke again, his tone less burdened, though still seeking clarity. If forgiveness must be earned, how does one measure their worthiness? The Buddha shook his head gently, his expression steadfast as he responded. Forgiveness is not measured, Ananda. It is given freely when the heart seeks to learn and to heal without selfishness. Fear is a shadow, he said, cast by the mind's attachment to what it cannot control. His voice carried the certainty of someone who had faced and overcome the very fears I grappled with. Blessed One, he said after moments of quiet, does letting go mean forgetting what has shaped us? What has caused pain in others? The Buddha regarded him steadily, his voice unwavering as he answered, letting go means releasing the pain, not erasing the lessons. It is growth through acceptance, not denial. Ananda nodded slowly, his heart opening to the truth that letting go does not diminish the significance of what has passed. Then, Blessed One, how do I ensure my growth does not come at the expense of others? The Buddha's gaze softened, his voice imbued with wisdom that touched each disciple present. Growth at the expense of others is not growth at all. True growth uplifts oneself while extending grace to others. Ananda bowed his head in understanding, his heart steadying as the weight of guilt began to transform into a resolve for kindness. Blessed One, he said, I will strive to make amends where possible and release what holds me back from doing so. The Buddha inclined his head slightly, his approval evident as he continued, do so, Ananda, with sincerity. Release is not an event but a practice, a stream that flows ever onward. But Blessed One, I asked, how do I find the light when I feel consumed by darkness? The Buddha gestured toward the flames of a small fire burning nearby, its warmth reaching us even from a distance. The light is like this fire, he said, born from the spark of mindfulness and the fuel of compassion. Ananda rose slowly, his shoulders lighter, his step steadier, his heart filled with gratitude for the wisdom granted by the Blessed One. He turned toward the disciples, his voice steady as he shared his resolve. Let us walk together, carrying the lessons forward, sowing kindness, and embracing peace in each step we take. The disciples stood, their unity a testament to the strength found in shared understanding and mutual resolve to move forward. Beneath the banyan tree, the shadows danced in harmony, embodying the teachings of letting go and embracing renewal. As the group dispersed, the stream murmured softly, its journey continuing, its presence a silent echo of the lessons learned. The Buddha watched them quietly, his aura unwavering, embodying the serenity that allowed transformation to bloom. Another day, another journey. The disciples walked toward the horizon, their spirits lighter, their steps purposeful, their hearts united in the wisdom of letting go. Another day, another chapter of life unfolded. The sun illuminated the path as the disciples approached the Buddha in quiet contemplation. Beneath the banyan tree, the air was still, holding the sacred weight of unspoken questions and hidden burdens. Young one, he said softly, anxiety is like the wind. You cannot stop it, but you can choose how you stand. Blessed One, he began softly, I have sought to release the past, yet echoes of regret still remain within me. The Buddha regarded him with gentle compassion, his eyes reflecting the wisdom of countless lifetimes and the depth of understanding. Ananda, he said, his voice steady and deliberate, do you see the shadow cast by the tree that shelters us now? Ananda followed his gaze, observing the faint shadow dancing upon the ground, its movements dictated by the shifting sunlight. Yes, Blessed One, the shadow is ever present, following the tree as its constant companion. The Buddha inclined his head slightly and continued, just as the shadow follows the tree, so too does the past cast shadows upon our lives. The disciples nodded in quiet agreement, their own reflections forming ripples in their minds. Stirred by the Buddha's words, Ananda spoke again, his voice hesitant yet earnest, Blessed One, how does one walk without being bound by the shadow, without letting it dictate each step forward? The Buddha gestured toward the distant mountains, their peaks resolute against the vast expanse of the sky. Ananda, the shadow exists not to hinder but to remind us of the light that creates it. Remember this. In time, it will fade like ripples on water. He led me to a quiet pond, its surface still except for the occasional ripple caused by a falling leaf. Look closely at the water, he instructed, and tell me what you see. I peered into the pond, noticing the moon's reflection amidst the faint ripples. It is the acknowledgement and understanding of the shadow that brings liberation. He reached toward the ground, lifting a handful of soil, its texture rough yet grounding in his palms. Look at this earth, he said, holding it out for all to see. It carries the history of countless lives, yet it nourishes growth. Ananda observed the soil closely, his thoughts intertwining with the imagery and its relevance to his struggles. It nourishes, Blessed One, yet it holds the remnants of what has been. Is this not a contradiction? The Buddha released the soil, letting it fall gently back to the earth, his movements embodying the lesson he sought to impart. It is not a contradiction but a harmony. Ananda, the past serves as fertile ground for the seeds of transformation. The disciples nodded, their spirits lightened by the perspective offered, their burdens shared through collective understanding. Yes, young one, he said, the true nature of your mind is like the still water, unshaken by passing ripples. Though his words brought comfort, the practical challenge of facing anxiety in the moment still lingered in my heart. Blessed One, I asked, what can I do when anxiety grips me so tightly that I cannot think clearly? The Buddha held out his hand, motioning for me to give him my attention entirely. Breathe, he said simply, his voice as steady as the rhythm of the earth itself. He inhaled deeply, demonstrating the slow, deliberate movement of his chest as the breath filled and left his body. Through mindfulness, intention, and kindness, we enrich the soil, creating a legacy that supports life beyond our own existence. The disciples exchanged glances, their silent agreements a testament to the universality of the teachings imparted by the Buddha. Ananda's gaze returned to the tree's shadow, the visual reminder of the conversation intertwining with his evolving perspective. Blessed One, he began once more, if the shadow cannot be escaped, does it not still obscure the present, clouding the clarity of now? The Buddha gestured toward the stream, its surface shimmering in the sunlight, reflecting both the shadows and the sky above. The present remains unclouded, Ananda, for it contains both shadow and light. To see both clearly is to live fully. So, you are saying, Blessed One, I said slowly, that facing the present moment can transform my fear into strength? The Buddha nodded, his expression unwavering and full of quiet conviction. Yes, young one, he said, responsibility is not a burden but an opportunity. Ananda, to transform regret into acts of healing and kindness. The disciples reflected quietly. their hearts lighter as they considered the possibility of action as a means of growth. Ananda bowed his head slightly, his heart steadied by the wisdom offered. His doubts met with guidance and clarity. "Blessed One," he said, "I will seek to heal, to act with intention, and to honor the lessons the past has given." The Buddha smiled faintly, his approval evident as he continued, his voice resonant in its sincerity. "In doing so, Ananda, you embody the essence of the teachings. Let your shadow guide you, not hold you back." The disciples felt a renewed sense of purpose, their spirits united by the shared commitment to growth and understanding. The sun climbed higher, casting dappled patterns upon the ground, embodying the harmonious interplay of light and shadow. Beneath the banyan tree, the Buddha sat quietly, his presence a steady beacon of peace, guiding all toward inner transformation. The disciples rose slowly, their steps unhurried as they carried the essence of the teachings within their hearts. Ananda lingered for a moment, his gaze focused on the stream, its ceaseless flow a reminder of life's continuity and renewal. He turned to the Buddha, his voice steady as he spoke. "I will walk forward, Blessed One." With gratitude for the wisdom shared, carrying both shadow and light, the Buddha inclined his head slightly, his smile a silent affirmation of the path Ananda had chosen. The group dispersed, their journey onward marked by the lessons learned beneath the shade of the banyan tree. The stream murmured softly, its presence a quiet echo of the teachings, its flow embodying the resilience and grace of life. Another day, another step forward, as the disciples embraced the balance of shadow and light within their own paths. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.